Hello and welcome to my Shura Ultra-Debuff sword only no skills hitless run. I did this as more or less like a last Sekiro run because I had never done like a low damage, like a truly low damage run before. I mean, I had done like no Kuro's charmless demon bell runs, but I've never done like an AP1 run, and I wanted to give it a shot because I think like Shura is like the most accessible like AP1 run because like the scaling doesn't get too insane at the end. But yeah, Ultra-Debuff stands for like attack power 1, no Kuro's charm, and the demon bell, and like basically all that means is just like you're dealing lower damage essentially. It's like more or less practically the lowest damage you can do on like a new game run without going into like new game plus or doing like sillier things like, I don't know, like no sword or something. But anyway, yeah, sword only, no skills. Basically like the only item we're using is the sword and the homeward idol. Similar to my like all the other runs I've done in Sekiro, if you're familiar with those. And let's get going, I guess. Yeah, and throughout this run, there's a lot of strats that I do, mostly on like boss fights, that are like deliberately like not easy, or like basically I'm choosing strats like are deliberately not the easiest ones I could be using, just because I wanted this run to be interesting. Because like as hard as this run is, it's like lots of people have done it before still, so I just wanted to put my own spin on it by doing some unique things here and there, but I'll call those out as they happen. But yeah, the tutorial for the most part is not much to talk about. I mean, I did some locked-on jumps at the beginning, if you notice there. Locked-on jumps are faster than like normal jumping or just walking through areas without, like when you're not able to sprint like at the beginning. And here I'm fighting Geni like basically the same as I've always fought him for the most part. I do get his health down to 80%, and then I start deflecting more things. Like you saw there, I did a couple dodges at the beginning. This is my preferred strat for the left side, for the left dash floating passage there. And yeah, you can head stomp Geni, like armored Geni. You just have to like be prepared for him to like attack you when you land. Like you can like react to him. You can react to him like hyper armoring through your like aerial R1s after the head stomp, but in place of that, I just do like a single R1 and just wait for him to do something, just so I don't have to think as much. And it's over. Almost as quickly as it began, it's over. Okay, and then heading into outskirts here. Get the snow. Oh, real quick, I should call out for syncing purposes. We'll get to 3. We're getting to 3:30 now. Okay, that's close enough. And this little pathing here, I got this from Ramonchi. You like run up the left ledge there and fall down and get that grapple. It's like slightly faster than like the normal way, and possibly a bit slower than the delayed jump. I don't like doing the delayed jump. The little pathing I did back there, that's like not the fastest thing you can do. There's like a new fancy thing on the right side, but it makes you jump past like one of the Ashina soldiers, which I don't like doing because it feels a little uncomfy. And also like the jumps are like slightly I guess like slightly tricky to do. Like they're not that hard, but I just want the beginning to be like easy and consistent, so that's what I went for, just something that's easy, comfy, consistent. Here you can alternate thrusts and normal R1s on that guy, and he won't ever block. I think that's the fastest way to kill him at low damage, essentially. And then here I just do like my own spin on like my own flavor of like sword only diagros here for the ogre. And then here, like a carryover from my like all bosses mini bosses days, I stay in front of Ogre and just try to have like every attack kind of be the same, or like not really take any chances with like punishes. So I just stay in front, do 2 hits after the quick grab, 3 hits after the long grab, 4 hits after the dive grab, and then 3 hits after the body slam there. And then if he does like the normal like fist slam, I deflect that and do 2 R1s after. And that's just like a way to fight Ogre without like having any guesswork of if he's gonna like turn around and quick grab you or something. So you just stay in front for the most part and always do the same number of attacks. It makes him like very comfy and consistent. And then you'll also see me doing a lot of ground grapples, whereas like most other people, you'll see them like always jumping before they grapple, like basically every time. And I just do that because I like the animation variety, because if you're jumping, like if you're doing jump grapples every single time, like you're seeing like the same animations over and over and over again, whereas if you do like a ground grapples, you'll be seeing like a little bit more animation variety here and there, like just because the animations are different. Like obviously the ground or like the jump grapple animations are all faster. That's why like most everybody does them just to save time. But I've decided that the time loss isn't a big deal, and I'll just do the ground grapples just so I'm like seeing more different animations just to make my life like a tiny bit more interesting visually. Here we're just running past Akko Headless, not a big deal. We're picking up the Demon Belt here to lower our damage further, because that's the point of the run. It's low damage. Yeah, and this run is like pretty similar to the other runs that I've done up until Gyoubu, or like past Gyoubu. It starts to change because this is an attack power 1 run, or AP 1, so I don't upgrade attack power. So as the run goes on and the enemy's like health scaling gets higher and higher, like my damage will feel like lower and lower. Is the whole deal. Then here, a little pause there. Going through like Snake Valley or whatever you want to call it. I do a jump there instead of a grapple because I think the jump is slightly faster. I see all the speedrunners doing it. And then here, this like might save time compared to grappling down, but sometimes you have to dodge the snake there. You have to like react to him or her attacking. Sometimes it attacks, sometimes she doesn't. But anyway, it's pretty easy to read and respond to that. Yeah, maybe grappling down is easier just because I think if you grapple down, the snake will never attack you. And then here, like if you like shimmy along the ledge here faster by like tapping the stick, you can get across fast enough to like not need to wait for the next like snake cycle there. But I just wanted to be comfy and chill, so I just wait for the next snake cycle. And then grapple up here, standard. And then here's like a small, I think I did this on the all bosses and mini bosses run. People saw that, but like this flow pathing here is good for sword only, because if you're not picking up any items, this is the like fastest way to get through here, and it's also like no aggro, as you can see, like nothing notices you, so it's also very safe. And then here, I think I've maybe picked up a couple time optimizations for Gyoubu, but it's mostly the same as the way I've always fought him. I think I do 7 R1s at the beginning there, if you count, instead of 6, because, I don't know, if you buffer your R1s and you make the most use of your time, then getting 7 R1s at the beginning is fairly easy. I'll call on anything else I see that's unusual or noteworthy. It's kind of standard so far. I don't like to chase Gyoubu when he runs away. I prefer to just wait for him to come back to me. So that's one thing you might notice that I do differently compared to some other runners. It's definitely faster to chase him in basically all situations, but I'm not like I enjoy the run being efficient and going faster, but I don't like make that my sole priority, you know. Oh, this is a cool punish. I don't know who discovered this or who first did it or where I first got it, but yeah, if you deflect the first jump attack, and then you can like jump up with him for the second jump attack there. It's a pretty cool punish. Here, yeah, pretty standard fight, honestly. I'm not seeing much I can comment on. It's kind of an unusual position. This was kind of a weird fight. Normally he stays like in the other part of the arena. He fairly rarely gets over here, but this was kind of an unusual day. And then there you see I get like 1 tick of fire damage, and like that was the only reason this run is not damageless as well. I would have liked to get damageless, but it wasn't like a top priority of mine. My all bosses, mini bosses was damageless, but it I don't know. I mostly care just about the hitless aspect. So the little fire damages. I mean, it's a little, it's like a tiny bummer to not get damageless, but it's not a big deal. Let's see, do a jump there to save some time so we don't spend as much time slow walking. I guess a little like tech there I could call out is if you like hold down on the D-pad before a dialogue option pops up, it will like instantly select the bottom option for the dialogue, and like you don't need to stop spamming. Like you can just keep spamming and like hold down. If you know the next option, you want the bottom option, you can just keep spamming and like hold down beforehand. A little speed tech there. And this guy, I think I used to kill this guy maybe, but I found that you can just run past him and grapple up before you can shoot again, and it's pretty chill. Okay, we're about to get to like one like slightly unusual fight. I chose to like fight Bull in a completely, or not like completely, but like a mostly different way than how I fought him before. I kind of like stay in front of him instead of baiting like side head bashes, like waiting on his side. I mostly stay in front and just deal with his like front attacks. It's I don't think it's like it might be a little bit slower than like very optimal like play if you're like waiting on his side, but it's not much slower, and it's a lot more fun to do in my opinion. You do have to like spend a long time practicing this to be able to react to the head shake, because sometimes you'll have to you'll have to iframe the first like hitbox of the head shake, and that took me a long time to learn. Like learning like this completely different bowl, again, it took me a really long time. I had lots of resets to it because I lost runs to bowl for a long time until I like finally practiced it enough that this did become consistent in the end. And then there, when he does like the double side head bashes, you can do 2 thrust attacks there. And then occasionally I will be like counting his poise. So like if I know he's going to stagger, I will like either do more attacks or like change my attacks based on like the stagger that I know is coming up. It's fairly easy to remember. Like he takes triple poise damage to the head, and he has like say like 13 poise overall. Like if a normal R1 is 1 point of poise, Bull has like 13 points of poise, and thrusts do 2 points of poise, and yeah, again he takes triple poise to the head, so you can use all that math, and eventually it becomes pretty easy to keep track of his poise, basically. And then here we're going to Senpo first to kill Armored Warrior. I don't know if it saves time overall, like in a strict sense, but it has like a couple of advantages. With the route I have, if I came here much later, like at the end of the run, I would have to deal with an apparition in the dungeon, which like it's not a big deal to deal with. You were able to like stealth kill the apparition, but it's like slightly annoying to do. So I just come here early so that I don't have to deal with an apparition. You saw me like touch the land there. If you touch the land, that first gunner won't ever see you as you swim by. And if you just swim directly without touching the land, the gunner will see you, and in like extremely rare circumstances, the gunner can hit you. I don't think it ever happened to me when I used to just swim by directly without touching the land, but it's definitely possible because the guy has gotten very close a couple times. So I think it was croacx who told me that if you touch the land and then continue swimming, the guy won't aggro, and I think that was good advice. There I did like a little timing setup with R1s to time the sprint jump out of the elevator to save like a tiny bit of time. Here, just trying to take fast lines through Senpo here. Morning Senpo is, I think, is the best Senpo. It looks the prettiest, at least in my opinion. Gosh, I don't know. You probably don't need to grapple on the left side there. You can probably take the most direct path. I don't know if it's dangerous at all. I just remember when I first started running Sekiro really, really long time ago, I think I like saw something on the Discord. Somebody was saying, like, if you go on the other side, it's safer. So I did that, but I don't even know if they were talking about that running section. They might have even been talking about like a completely different running section, and I just like misinterpreted that. But anyway, that's just kind of a habit that I've kept for forever. Yeah, and in that little section before, you saw me like hang left and then take a grapple, and that just makes it so that you get the aggro at the latest like possible point. And there I wasn't. I think I was like looking at chat or something. I wasn't like jumping at the right time. Oh yeah, I guess one thing I could mention. If you want to see this run with like live commentary of like what I was saying, like as things were happening, and also like having like chat on the side, and I think I did this run with face cam as well, and also like the splits. Like if you want to see all that, you can like watch the Twitch VOD of this run. That'll be linked in the description if you want to have like the live experience of like how it went down. Because yeah, I do live stream my runs on Twitch. If you ever want to watch that. But yeah, on YouTube, I just like having just the gameplay and like the controller overlay on screen, and then my own commentary. Here, fighting Armored Warrior, you'll notice that I don't do as many counter slashes as other runners do, and that's because like after the first combo that Armored Warrior does, his like combo options kind of open up, and he's able to do the shove in more places in combos, and just to prevent any confusion and like attacking at the wrong time, I basically only counter slash when I know that the thrust is coming up, or in like a couple other situations. But yeah, by and large, I don't counter slash on his like basic combos. And I kept like staggering him or like canceling him out of his berserk combo. I think it happened like 3 times in this kill, and that was like rather unfortunate. So I guess like if I ever wanted to come back to this, it's better to do 2 R1s before the berserk combo, just to reduce the chances of you ever like canceling out of the berserk combo. Because like for the most part, you want him to continue the berserk combo because it deals a lot of posture damage if you deflect it. Yeah, and I guess another thing I could mention there is I don't deflect the last hit of the berserk combo, because if you're too close to him when you're deflecting the last hit, like his body will collide with you and break your posture after the last deflect. And although like by team hitless rules it's not technically a hit, like it's still like, you know, at least for my like sensibilities, it's still like a boss dealing posture damage to you that you didn't deflect, and it makes you stagger. Like it's a stagger from a boss that is preventable. So like, you know, for my like personal sensibilities, I think it's a hit, so I avoid it by just dashing the last hit of the berserk combo. Oh, and then gosh, I'm always like talking about things that are like happening in the past, but like when I was running past those guys with the straw hats, I took like a more direct path, and then after a certain pillar, I like cut to the left slightly. That strat is safe as far as I know. The reason I cut left is because sometimes one of the straw hat guys will, they will throw like projectiles at you, and if you go to the left a bit, it makes it easier to strafe those projectiles, at least in my experience. I think Ramon has a strat where if you just run straight, Ramon says that is also safe, but I think if you cut left, it'll just make it easier to strafe the strafe those projectiles if they happen. They didn't happen in this run, but yeah. And then here, just as like another bit of like fun and memery, I deflect the Wu guy. It's actually very easy to do, especially because I do a sprint deflect there, and sprint deflects have twice as many deflect frames as like normal deflects. Like a normal deflect has 12 frames of like, you know, for the parry window, but a sprint deflect has 24. So it's like twice as long. It's quite comfy. And then here I've started doing backside dojo skip. I'm trying to do like a slightly faster version of, and there was a projectile that almost got me there. That was the first time I've ever seen that, I think. So that was a little bit scary. Yeah, I'm trying to do like a slightly faster version where if you jump and then grab like correctly, you can get directly to that grab, that ledge grab, instead of like falling to the slightly lower platform there. Anyway, I didn't get it this time, but that's fine. A little backflip right then, just for style. And then here, I think I fight Geni like basically the same as on my all bosses mini bosses run. The only like significant thing that I changed is I'm dodging his thrusts now. Like, yeah, there I do a thrust dodge instead of deflecting it. It's a bit faster to dodge it, and like most people dodge it, so I wanted to give it a try. I mean, the way I do it is fairly different than other people, since I don't make Genichiro deflect for the most part. I found that for me it's more comfortable to like use my sidestep iframes at the at the last moment of the thrust. Yeah, like dodge at the last moment to like iframe the thrusting and get to the side there. Because if you're locked on, your side, like, if you lock on and sidestep, you get iframes against thrust attacks. If you do like a forward dodge or like a diagonal dodge, just like a normal dash that's not a sidestep, then you don't get iframes against thrusts. And there I bring Genichiro back to the center because it's easier to fight him in the center and just in like a more open space, because I don't like fighting him next to walls for the most part. Let's see, is there anything else that is... And then here I kept like dodging behind him when he does the kick instead of... Like if you counter slash immediately before the kick, like you can just cancel the kick and continue the fight. I don't really know why. I kept dodging behind the kick for some reason. Like I think if you buffer the R1 after dodging the kick, then you can get like 2 vitality hits, but I wasn't even doing that. I was still getting 1 vitality hit. Anyway, oh, another thing I could talk about. In phase 2, I switched from dodging the jump attacks to deflecting them, because if Geni does a sweep attack after the jump attack, then that gives me a lot of posture damage. Like I think he'll do one there. He does a thrust. If he does a thrust, then it's a waste of time. But if he does a sweep after the jump attack, then I get a lot of posture damage from the head stomp, and then I think that makes that worth it. Maybe not like for speed, but at least for like the number of attacks I have to deal with. Like if you do more posture damage, you want to deal with as many attacks because you know he'll die in fewer attacks. Let's see, there's like a similar story in phase 3. I'll dodge his jump attacks until he gets below 80% vitality. And you can tell when he gets below 80% vitality because his posture bar will change color. I'll like call it out. It goes from orange to yellow, or from yellow to orange. You saw it there. It goes from like a yellow to like an orangey yellow, like it is now. Yeah, so from here on out, we'll be like deflecting his jump attacks, and then if he does a sweep or the drag, then it's worth it. If he does a thrust after the jump attack, then it's not really worth it. There's some more thrust dodges for you. Yeah, I like to crouch attack on his lightning arrow. It just makes it really comfy, and you can get a extra vitality hit after knocking him down, which I think is nice. Crouch attack, and yeah, here I'll instead of hitting him to cancel the sweep, I take the sweep to get more posture damage. Let's see, did he do a jump attack again here? Yeah, and if he does a sweep after the jump attack, it makes it worth it, because head stomps give you a lot of posture damage. You'll see me like jumping after him. I think I did it earlier in the fight too, and that's just because like after that bow attack, he usually doesn't come after you. He just kind of idles after that like bow attack. So I jump towards him and hit him just to reduce the idling and like dead time in the fight. And there you go. There's Geni. What is it? Earlier on when I was running this, I had a route that killed Monk first, and like also went through Lone Shadow Longswordsman in order to kill Monk first. And that route was like, I did that because it was like slightly interesting and like a meme, because like Lone Shadow is an optional boss. You don't have to fight him at all, so it was kind of like silly fighting him. And then like doing Monk first made Geni have like higher scaling, so it made the Geni fight like even longer than it already was. So like that was kind of, I don't know, I guess supposed to be like a joke or something, or like funny in some way. It eventually got old because like I kept losing runs, like for one thing to Longswordsman, because I was also trying to fight him in like not the easiest way. I won't go into details right now, but like, yeah, just like not fighting him in the easiest way, and I kept losing runs to him, so that was annoying. And then I also kept losing runs to Geni because like the fight is longer and you have to be more consistent at him. And yeah, I was also having like some like mental blocks on him or something. I kept like messing up things that I didn't need to mess up. So yeah, eventually we went with this route that didn't have an extra boss and did Geni before Monk, as most people do. And I think that was a good change because it made the route faster and just more enjoyable to do because I wasn't like dying to Longswordsman anymore. Let's see. Anything else to talk about? Yeah, not really much right now. Here I force a loading screen by porting back with the homeward idle, because if you, at least like in my experience, if you kill Geni and go to Gunfort and Centipede without forcing a loading screen, like sometimes bad things can happen. Like Centipede will have like a different moveset, or he'll like his like AI will sort of break and he'll like only throw fire bombs and that's it, which I don't want to have happen. I mean, it doesn't like technically invalidate the run, I think, but it just, I mean, part of all this is that I like fighting the bosses. I want to like show off my skills and like what I've worked on fighting them. And if I go in and like all he does is like try to throw fire bombs and I just like cheese him with just like attacking him intermittently through that, like that's not very like fun or interesting to me. So I force a loading screen to just prevent that from ever happening. And then here, this is all pretty standard. We'll get to like, there's a new Gunfort strat that I'll call out when it happens. Here, I don't know why more people don't do this jump. It's actually a very easy jump. Like just jump, like walk jump as soon as you get to that previous branch, and then you can get to the next grapple like very easily. I managed to convince like Exzerothree to do that jump, and I think she's had good success with it. Like it's really not a hard grapple to do. I don't know why more people don't do it. Maybe they just think it looks harder, or maybe they think it is harder than it looks. Here on this first island, you see I cut to the left a bit here and then jump more from the left, and that's like an attempt to like reduce like meme shots happening on the islands. I think Sillxex told me to do that, and I haven't been hit to it since. It maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I've had good success with it, but yeah, as with like a lot of things in Gunfort, there's a lot of RNG involved. This is a completely different setup than what you'll see in like runs in years past. Like you can run across, and with the timing that I set up back there with the R1 and like sprinting through from behind the rock, you saw that the last shot on the bridge came a little bit before like I reached the hole in the bridge and had to jump. But yeah, I think a couple weeks, or maybe like a week before I got the run, I got hit to gun for it because I was trying like a slightly different bridge strat that I hadn't like tested all that much, and I got hit and I was a bit annoyed, and then Ramon came in and floated the idea of like jumping directly from the bridge to the next branch without a grapple, and I tested it out for a while and it seemed like it had like a lot of potential, so I spent some time testing it, and it seems to work very well. I have a YouTube video showing like a setup for like both gotchinless and like with gotchin on the bridge. I don't think it's public on YouTube though. You'll have to like go through the Discord, the Team Hitless Discord to find that. There, I just do that like little side jump to have like an easier time getting past that gunner, because I find with the normal way, the gunner acts favorably most of the time, but like in rare cases they can do weird things. And then here, Centipede Phase 1, basically like the same way I've always fought him. Not too much to talk about here. Some people like to spam deflect for these combos. I just find that timing out each deflect with like the rhythm is quite easy, so that's what I've always done. And then here in Phase 2, to make the run more interesting, I decided to do it no deflect, and it involves like dashing behind him after each attack. This took quite a while to learn, and it was still like quite daunting and scary even in the last days of running this, but it did become like quite consistent. You have to be like very focused and be like quick with your reactions, but it is consistent as far as I can tell. Yeah, you just always dash behind and do 2 R1s and wait to see what he does next. Yeah, it's about as hard as it looks. It eventually became consistent, as I said, but it is like quite hard to do. And there it is. That's no deflect Phase 2. And I just did no deflect on Phase 2 only because like Phase 1, like, you know, he only has the one attack and it's not very, I don't think it's much more interesting to do no deflect, but definitely in Phase 2, like reacting to the quick combo, it made it like actually challenging, so I decided to do just Phase 2. And then there, yeah, as soon as you get the kanji symbol on the bridge, you can jump off of it. Like no need to wait for the snake to actually break the bridge. Just, it might save a little time, I'm not like totally sure, because I still wait for the snake up on the ground, so I'm not sure if it saves time overall, but I just like to jump off the bridge as soon as I can. And here we're grabbing this idol because we'll have to come back here in order to get to Ape after we kill Monk. And then there, I like to do a neutral jump and then do a wall jump. You can get to that grapple like directly without any more jumping. Small tip for some, because like some people, they like try to do like a walking jump or a sprinting jump, and they like fail to get up after like the wall jump, and I don't know, it's very simple. Like you just do a neutral jump and it gets you a little bit more height. Then here around the side, I like to what's it called? Avoid the I like to like take that side path to avoid the lizards here, because I mean, although it's not hard to like jump over the rocks and like get past the lizards, like occasionally you'll kind of like fumble the jumps, and anyone who's played Sekiro knows that like sometimes like wall jumps are just kind of weird. So in order to like avoid any like faffing about with the jumps and the lizards down there, I just take a side path to avoid the issue entirely and just have a comfier time. And then here you can do a wall jump to grab directly up to that ledge. I think I got that from Derman a long time ago. It's a nice little speed up there. Maybe like saves like half a second or something. And yeah, here if you just just crouch as soon as the aerial death blow is over, Shirahagi won't aggro to you. And then here I fight Shirahagi a bit different than I did in other runs. I mean, the first bit is fairly similar, like I do 2 R1s after deflecting things. I do this until she gets below 80% vitality, because yeah, when she's below, when like any enemy is below 80% vitality, their posture recovery slows down a lot, so that makes it so they don't like bleed posture away in between attacks as much. So yeah, we'll just be doing like multiple R1s and trying to get more vitality hits in. And yeah, now you see that she's below 80%, and we switched to like deflecting most everything until we get an opening to do a vitality R1. I saw Savio had like a slight optimization to this. He was able to do like thrust attacks after certain combo moves to get like an extra vitality hits. I guess I could have learned that, but I just stuck with only counter slashing at the end of combos. So yeah, there, finish her off. I think I switched to doing like more R1s at the end, because if you get an R1 death blow, then the fog wall will disappear faster than if you get a deflect death blow. So I did that to try to save some time, like, you know, just like a couple seconds. And then coming through here, just normal grappling. And I like to at least like go for the delayed jump here, because you can get that grapple directly. I think it's a nice little speed run trick, that because if you fail that delayed jump, like nothing bad happens. You just fall down to the ground and you just have to jump some more, or like, you know, take a grapple. But yeah, I like to go for that one, since it does speed things up a little bit, and there's no danger if you fail it, the delayed jump. And then I think this is the first run I've done where I actually do the tree skip, except for maybe like my Shura sword damage only bounty run a couple years ago. But yeah, I mean I used to take the intended path around Tokujiro, but nowadays I just do the tree skip, because like, I mean the Tokujiro path is, I mean it's the intended path, but there's not really much interesting that happens there, so I don't know. I decided it wasn't worth doing anymore, and just take the time saved from the tree skip. And then there you saw I did 15 R1s on Mr. Noble, and then deflected one attack from him. Again, like I just did that just for like the fun factor, because I mean, for one thing, it's like funny, because, you know, there's really no reason normally to fight Mr. Noble. Like, you can just attack him until he dies. But yeah, I think it's funny to like deflect something from him just to add like a little bit of danger to a boss that normally is sort of a joke and like free. Yeah, luckily I never lost a run to Mr. Noble, because I practiced the deflects, and I got them all every time on runs. Oh yeah, and another thing, like the deflect death blow on Mr. Noble is like way faster than, what's it called, like the normal R1 death blow. So I think it's fun to get that, since the animation goes faster. Then here, coming into Monk, yeah, since this run has like such low damage, I have to spend a lot of time getting her vitality down. And then after she gets below about like 40% vitality, like her posture recovery is at its like minimum level, and I switch to deflecting more things. And luckily, like this like combo of like getting her vitality down and deflecting things after is like faster than the stab loop that you might see some sword only runners do on Monk, where basically like you do like thrust attacks and like force her to deflect, and she does like the same 3 moves every time, and you just like keep that loop going where she only does like 3 different moves, and you just, yeah, always like lock her in to that like very limited move set. Like, it's a fine way to deal with her, it's just very, very boring, so I don't like to do it. I think this way of fighting is like way more fun. Just do some R1s, make her block, and then dodge behind and do some more R1s. And then here you see I walk around the sweep follow-up to get a bunch of R1s off. That's always nice. But yeah, you see here she very often does like the same move over and over again. So it's like a soft loop, but like, I don't know, I'm okay with it, because for the most part, like, she can get out of this loop whenever she wants. Yeah, she very often does like other things. And here I'm still trying to get her vitality down, so I like try to get her back into the middle of the arena instead of chasing her to the edges. I guess I could talk about yeah, like I mentioned before, at 80% vitality, her posture bar goes from like yellow to orange, and then at 60% it goes to like it's like a reddish tinge to it, and that means like her posture recovery is even less. And then at 40%, which I think you'll see very soon, it becomes like even, yeah, there you see like her posture bar gets even more red, and that means that she has like the lowest amount of posture recovery possible. And then here I like run away because like fighting her over there is really annoying. So I try to like turn her around and like try to direct her in this direction because it's just a lot nicer to fight her over here than it is in other parts of the arena. Yeah, and you can see I'm like switching to deflecting a lot of things to get more posture damage. Since her posture recovery is very low, so it's fine to get lots of posture damage and not have it be wasted by her recovering it. And yeah, it just kind of goes like this for a while. Not too much to analyze here. And she's dead. Yeah, fighting her that way, I had to learn that because I mean I kind of had like a basic premise of like how to fight her and like get her vitality damage down, but I had to do a lot of practice to get that more consistent and make it a bit more optimal and, you know, time efficient. So yeah, I lost a bunch of runs to Monk, like even when I was doing her first, like before Geni, I lost a bunch of runs to her. But yeah, eventually she became like, I worked out all the kinks and everything, and yeah, eventually it became a consistent fight. Actually, like basically everything became a consistent fight by the end of this, because as with like all my runs, I can't really like get these runs unless I'm consistent at all the bosses. Like, yeah, anytime I never get lucky and just like get all the way through when all the bosses are like half consistent. Like they all have to be really, really consistent for me to get the run. But in here, a slightly different strat than you might have seen from other people. You kill that monkey, and then that just lets you take this path through here without aggroing any any other monkeys. So it's no aggro, it's very safe, and I don't know, it's just nice and comfy, so that's why I like doing it. And then here, yeah, another thing that I changed a bit from like my previous runs is I'm doing Ape Phase 1 no deflect now. That was like honestly mostly because Cloudy was in my chat like last year saying that like Ape Phase 1 no deflect is a lot harder than with deflects, and I didn't really believe him, so I like tried it out for myself. And there is one attack that is like a fair bit trickier, but like it's that attack that's a bit trickier. The best way to dodge it no deflect is to like run around his right side, your left, and like just like sprint behind him before the attack gets him across. But besides that one attack that's a bit tricky to deal with, like every other attack is pretty I don't know, it's not that hard to deal with. You basically just dash instead of deflect for a lot of these things. And here you see that I do R1s mostly during his staggers, and then I end the stagger with a thrust, and that's just to maximize vitality damage when I get the staggers. Because like one thrust does like twice as much poise damage, so it makes him go through the staggers faster. But like thrusts also do less vitality damage. Or no, they do, like a thrust does 1.5 times as much vitality damage as a normal R1, but like doing 2 R1s is more vitality damage than doing 1 thrust. So that's why I try to do R1s during the staggers to get more vitality damage. It's not a big deal, like either way. It's just like a slight optimization. Yeah, Ape took me. I don't think I did. I ever lose a run to Ape Phase 1? It's hard to remember. Maybe I did. Yeah, honestly, I don't remember. But Ape Phase 1 was ended up being like quite consistent. Oh yeah, I started dodging like the long range grab by just walking away, because if you just walk away from like the moment he queues it up, you'll outspace it in time. There is like a slight danger if you're like walking into a tree and then getting caught on the tree and not realizing it and getting grabbed, but that luckily never happened to me. I mean, you could probably react to the tree blocking you, like you should be able to notice that and then dodge in time, but anyway. But yeah, learning 8 phase 1 no deflect was basically, it was mostly just like learning him locked off and then just dashing most things instead of deflecting them. I ended up optimizing the kill like a fair bit compared to how I used to fight him. So I think like in doing this, like my fight became more optimal, even though it was more restrictive with no deflects. It ended up being optimal, like getting more punishes more quickly, which is good. And here, getting to phase 2. Wait. Trying to think if there's anything else I should like mention. There's the... Oh, yeah, I like the concept of like being able to watch this run without like the commentary over it. And I was trying to like figure out a way to do that without just uploading like 2 different versions of the same, like just having 2 uploads of the same run, like only with different audio tracks. And I think I figured out like a sort of solution. It would make the run without commentary, like it would make it available like only to very motivated people who like know how to work with surround sound stuff. Like this video is like technically uploaded in like 5.1 surround sound with like the front left and front right speakers being like the normal game audio, like stereo game audio you would get. And then the center channel of the 5.1 surround sound is the commentary. So I think like basically everyone you should be getting like the game and the commentary. But now, if you're very motivated and you want to like listen to this and cut out the center channel, you can technically listen to this in 5.0 with just the game audio and not the commentary. I don't know if anybody's really interested in that, but it is there. But yeah, you'd have to know how to like work with surround sound with YouTube and computers and stuff like that. Which it took me a fair few minutes to figure out like on my own. Because like YouTube doesn't support 5.1 surround sound in the browser. Like I had to use an external program on my computer. It was a bit annoying, but it worked out. There's not that much to talk about with Ape phase 2. It's like a pretty easy fight for the most part. I like to do head stomps on his sweeps. Sometimes you don't see people doing those. Let's see, I do like counter slashes on some of his attacks, at least the ones where it's like very obvious and safe. You can do counter slashes on more of his attacks, but on one of them it's like it has to be perfectly buffered, and if you're on like slightly bad, or if you're on bad terrain, you can get like memes where like the attack hits you before you can deflect it. So yeah, like on this attack, like the beginning of that combo, you're able to counter slash that, but if the terrain is bad or something, like I don't know, it's weird. I suspect it's terrain, but I guess we don't know like that for sure. Just very, very rarely you won't be able to counter slash that safely. So I just opted to not go for it since, unnecessary danger on a hitless run, right? More head stomps, more screens. Yeah, this is the 8 phase 2 experience. If you want to be really fancy about it, like Croacx, you can like keep track of his poise, and occasionally you can like cancel him out of the streams by keeping track of his poise such that you're able to stagger him out of the screen in time. But I don't know. I think he has like 13 points of poise or something. I think it's 13. It's either like 13 or 18 or something. It's some like number around there, which is I don't know, it's like a lot to keep track of, and I think there's like an attack or two where he doesn't take poise during it, and it's just, I don't know, I don't like thinking about all that and possibly fucking it up, so I just opted to like never learn how to do that. And then here, it's probably faster in real time to take the idol and then teleport directly to where I want to go next, which is the main hall in Senpo Temple. For some reason, I took the homeward idol here instead of like going to the ape idol. Not really a big deal either way. Then here, I think all my strats here are kind of the same as on all bosses, mini bosses. I remember in Ramon's like original upload of this strat, I think he found it during the sword damage only bounty. I think it might be faster to like wait back there for the orange monkey to get yellow aggro and then kill the invisible monkey. I'm not like sure of that, but that's the way Ramon did it, so I just assume it's faster. And then here the green monkey airstrike is pretty easy to do. I won't like explain the timing for it right now, but it's pretty easy to time. And even if you miss the airstrike, you can just do the backup strat by like ringing the bell and staggering the green monkey, and then you can kill it. Then here, just the normal purple monkey strat, bringing him into the dark room. Pretty basic stuff here. And then I think, yeah, after this, it's only Emma Isshin. This run really flew by. This hasn't like felt very long for me, at least, you know, talking through it. Oh yeah, this ended up being like I think this ended up being my fastest run. I'll have to like check my notes or something sometime if I want to like verify that, but this was like a pretty fast run, which I was quite happy about. Maybe it wasn't my fastest ever, but it was definitely up there. Like, didn't waste a lot of time. Didn't have like, I mean, the ape phase 2 RNG, it wasn't the best, but it also like it could have been way worse. So things didn't take too long there. Then here, yeah, we're just going to the top of Ishina Castle to fight Emma and Isshin, the final bosses of Shura. Here you can run past the red hat guy without any danger, really. Swimming through the water. And then here, you want, for this last grapple here, you want to stay still. Don't move at all until the lone shadow there, like, aggroes and starts moving or grabbing his sword or something. And here, you can do like a little speed run trick to get that grapple straight away without going through like other grapples first. I was fairly consistent at that one, but I didn't hit that like every time, so it still felt nice when I got it. And then another backflip for style here. And for Emma, like similar to like lots of other bosses in this run, I get her vitality down first, and then I switch to deflecting her more. Basically, like, I make her block and then dash behind her counterattack. Like, make her block and then dash behind her counterattack, and then you can get a vitality hit. And just kind of repeat this process over and over. It's like, you know, she can do like slightly different counterattacks, but it mostly goes the same. Just make her block, dash behind, counterattack. It's a pretty easy loop to go through. Just getting her vitality down. Like, you can like dead angle her or lock off to be a bit more optimal about it. But I just wanted this part to at least be somewhat easy. So here it is, and we get her down to 60% vitality because I found that was like a good place to be for the next strat to make her not bleed so much posture. Oh yeah, and then I actually lost a run to over rotating on Emma's grab. One time, like during this run, which I didn't even like realize was like a possibility for me. So you'll see me like lock off instead of staying locked on. Like I used to just stay locked on and walk to the right, but There was one time I walked like wrong while locked on, and I switched to just being like locked off and just, you know, walking to the side there just to be extra sure about it. And then here, yeah, after we get her down to 60% vitality, we just start deflecting most everything and then only attacking when we're able to get a vitality hit. I just think this is like a much more fun way to fight her rather than doing the parry loop, because I mean the parry loop is more time efficient, but I just find it to be very boring, so I like doing this a lot more and I have no regrets. Like, yeah, it makes the fight a bit longer, but it's way more fun this way, at least for me. Like, even this kind of gets a bit repetitive because Emma doesn't have like that many moves, but I still think this is the most fun way to fight her, at least for me. And then here, I think yeah, you can, I do a head stomp on her in order to make the run like a little bit, in order to save a little bit of time, because the aerial death blow on her is actually like significantly faster than like any other death blow, so you save a bit of time if you go for a head stomp and then get the aerial death blow. And then here, like, it definitely wasn't strictly necessary, but I do fight Isshin like a slightly different way to get his vitality down at the beginning here. Yeah, just kind of dodging and strafing more things. There I'm trying to like make him follow me, because if you jump backwards, most of the time he'll like follow you with like a slide, and it like, you know, it will bring him away from the wall. So I was trying to do that there, but it, you know, sometimes it doesn't work, which was unfortunate, but not too big of a deal. And yeah, just dodging, getting his health down to 80%, and then now we'll switch to like making him deflect, since like this is, for the most part, this is the normal way to fight him that most everybody does, but like since I had never done it before, I wanted to, I don't know, try it out, and it ended up being like fairly engaging, so I stuck with it. Yeah, and then after deflecting the thrust, I jump towards him, because after the thrust, he gets in like a stance where he will instantly deflect like what you do. Like if you attack him soon after his thrust, he will like instantly deflect without blocking first. But I found that if you jump attack towards him and do like one or two like aerial attacks, like he'll deflect the first aerial attack and then either like block the next aerial attack, or he'll just get staggered from a vitality hit from the second aerial attack. Or even if you only get a single aerial attack, like if you do a follow-up ground R1, that is still like fast enough to make him block the that ground R1. I mean, I didn't test that extensively because it only happened like every now and then that I wouldn't get like both aerial attacks, but that seemed to be the case. And then here, at the beginning of phase 2, we're like doing slightly more vitality focused strats. We're trying to get him down to 80% vitality again. And then there, at 80% vitality, we're switching now to more posture focused strats. And then, yeah, for this run, I wanted to full deflect one mind, like all of that. Like I wanted to do that. That took me a really long time to learn how to do everything consistently, because like timing the first two deflects on one mind is that's hard because there's such a long delay before they come out. And then you see that like for the flurry of one mind, I like sprint towards him and then spam deflect. So yeah, 2 deflects here, and then you can iframe the fire, and then sprint deflect. Sprint deflecting lets you deflect the full flurry consistently without like getting a block in there. So that was I think Savio found that, or maybe he like got it from some other runner, but he definitely like popularized it. So that was a good find. Because yeah, sprint deflecting has twice as many iframes or deflect frames as just normal deflects, so that lets you spam deflect and like get all of the flurry deflects without like running out of deflect frames. Because like the more you spam deflect, like the smaller and smaller the deflect window gets until it like reaches 0. But yeah, starting with a sprint deflect gives you like enough of a cushion that it makes it consistent. At least like that's kind of my understanding of the situation. And yeah, like, man, like as quickly as it began, like it is over. Like I feel like I could, if I wanted to, I could like pause on a lot of these things and like explain and yeah, just like say a lot more about like all of the strats I'm using and everything. But there's just not time for that. And it's already over. I was very happy to get this run. If you want to like hear my live reaction, you can go to the Twitch VOD. I wasn't like ecstatic about it because like, I mean this was like a good run to do. It was like a fairly hard run, but it's not like this wasn't like a monumental run, you know. It was still good though. I was fairly happy. But yeah, it was a good journey. How much time do I have left here? Like 40 seconds to ramble on. Yeah. It was a nice little, a nice run to get back into the swing of things, because yeah, I haven't gotten a run, like before this I hadn't gotten a run in like over a year, right? I think, yeah, like a year and a couple months. So yeah, it was a good run to get back into things. What else? Yeah, I don't know, just, it was good. I forget, what day did I'll have to like, I'll put in the description like what day I actually got this run, because I'm only doing the voiceover like a couple weeks, or maybe even a few weeks after I got this run. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. Bye-bye!